This is your ultimate stop for everything sports. The Golden State Media Concepts Sports Podcast. Should I say more? From the NFL, MLB, the NBA to MMA, it's all in here. The Golden State Media Concepts Sports Podcast. Listen now.
All right, and welcome to the GSMC Sports Podcast. This episode is brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network, and as always, I am your host, Jesse Tapia. All right, LeBron finally opted out of his deal. Now a free agent. Now this is going to be once it's official. All right, and I mean, is there anywhere else besides LA where people think he's going? All right, so we'll be talking about him and all that in the first segment. Second segment, we'll be talking about some of the teams so far in the World Cup that have impressed me, some teams that haven't, and some teams that we might be overhyping a bit. All right, so we'll do that for the second segment. The third segment, we'll be talking about some NFL topics, and then the fourth segment, we'll be talking about anything else going on in the world of sports. I think we had Tiger Golfing today too, so we'll be talking about that. All right, so that's how today's show is going to go. Not too much news going on right now. Like I said, we're right before the crazy NBA offseason getting started. All right, talking about free agency and all. Once that happens, I mean, it'll be ridiculous. All right, I wonder how long it's going to take LeBron to sign somewhere too. All right, because it starts on Sunday, I think it is. NBA free agency. You got Brian Windhorst tweeting out, reporting that LeBron's in the Caribbean right now with people like the people in his group. All right, his little entourage, his influencers, or all that. And I didn't know that NBA players and stuff, like part of the people in their group, are called influencers. It's a word I've learned. All right, LeBron has influencers, this guy he listens to. Normally, wouldn't you just call those friends? All right. I mean, I guess influencer sounds a bit more cool. But like I said, that just sounds like a bunch of friends to me. LeBron is with a bunch of friends over in the Caribbean trying to decide where he's going to go. That's basically what I got from it. All right. But nonetheless, yeah, Brian Windhorst says that they're in the Caribbean with his quote-unquote influencers. Okay. And they're trying to decide where LeBron's going to go. They call it his decision cave. All right. And I mean, come on now, really? A decision cave? All right, I think LeBron's one of the best players of all time, but you make it real difficult to defend you when you call your little spot in the Caribbean the decision cave. All right, at least that's what Brian Windhorst reported it as. Brian Windhorst tends to get everything right with LeBron James, so I'm assuming if he's called it a decision cave, then they call it a decision cave. All right. But, I mean, how much are the Cavs actually in the mix? Okay. Could you honestly see LeBron going back, staying in Cleveland? I mean, what would be the point there? I mean, obviously, you'll be getting a decent-sized contract with him and all that. But, nonetheless, I mean, Boston's going to be a whole lot better than what you saw this season. All right, accounting for they'll finally have Kyrie Irving back again and Gordon Hayward. All right. Philly should be better than last season. And, I mean, if you're LeBron, sure, you'll most likely still have a chance to make it out the East. I mean, you'd have to add another superstar. I highly doubt Paul George wants to go to Cleveland. Okay? Maybe you could get Dan Gilbert to do a little trade with the Spurs and get Kawhi Leonard there, but even then I mean, you think they're able to keep Colin Sexton if they trade for Kawhi Leonard? I don't think so. Okay. But I mean, you don't really need Colin Sexton if you are going to be bringing in Kawhi, because you have Kawhi, LeBron, and Kevin Love, I guess, as your big three. All right. Obviously, you'll need to figure out the point guard situation, but they've been pretty much doing that since, they traded Kyrie. All right. But in all seriousness, like I said, it would make no sense for LeBron to go back to Cleveland, I feel. I guess if you want to be the hometown hero and all that, want to be loved still. But, he's already did everything he could for Cleveland. I don't even think Dan Gilbert wants him to come back. Okay? There's been reports going around that Dan Gilbert's basically just waiting for LeBron to leave so he could get his quote-unquote team back. All right? And LeBron and Dan Gilbert have never seen eye to eye. Dan Gilbert doesn't necessarily seem like the best owner either, so I guess I understand why. Kind of reminds me like a Jim Irsay type. All right? But nonetheless, looking at the Cavs going forward without LeBron, I think Colin Sexton's a good player, but so was Kyrie Irving, and that was one of the worst teams in the league when Kyrie was out there. All right. And it seemed like there was no way they were getting better. You had guys like Deion Waiters there and all. Tristan Thompson was on that team. Guys who have contributed now since they've left. All right. And do you keep Kevin Love if you're the Cavs, if LeBron leaves? I feel like LeBron leaving basically means you got to blow it all up and start from the beginning as far as a rebuild. So I feel like whatever you could get for Kevin Love, you trade him away and get that. All right. Plus, you still got J.R. Smith's contract you got to deal with. I think he's got one more year. Tristan Thompson's still getting paid a lot of money. What good is he on that team if LeBron's not there? Because, essentially, what Tristan Thompson does isn't really worth what he's getting paid. All right. I think it's a little bit more valued given the fact that you got LeBron out there, and it's a little bit more highlighted since they're a good team. But, what good is a guy who's going to give you 5 points and maybe 8 rebounds a game? What good is that for, paying him all that money? Okay. So I'm going to get a decision there. Like I said, it's just the Cavs this might be it. Before LeBron, the Cavs weren't necessarily a great team. All right, at all. Haven't won anything. LeBron comes back, they win something, they go to the finals a bunch of times. Now, I think they're going to go back to being the old Cleveland. All right. And Cleveland's had a nice little run as far as not being the laughing stock of the NBA, but I think it's going to be going back to that pretty soon. All right. Like I said, once LeBron left that team, they were terrible. And look at them in the playoffs this season. We could already tell this is one of the worst teams LeBron's ever played on. All right, you take LeBron off this team, they're not a playoff contender or anything like that. All right, this is a lottery team and a team that's probably picking in the top 4. So we'll see what ends up going down there. Like I said, I don't really see a reason for him to come back, to stay in Cleveland. You're probably not going to win anything. All right. But like I said, is there a team other than the Lakers you could see LeBron going to now? Of course, before it was Philly, it was Houston. Philly seemed like they had a decent shot before. I guess everything was getting reported about the Lakers. All right, I truly thought that he's probably going to end up in Philly. Why not? I feel like Philly's young core is a whole lot better than the Lakers. All right, you got Ben Simmons, Embiid, Saric, Covington, Fultz, compared to Lonzo, Ingram, Kuzma, and Randle, who's a restricted free agent. All right. Over in Philly, 2 of those young players are superstars already, basically. One's a very good 3-and-D player, even though this season he kind of stunk it up. Dario Saric is a very good player. Markelle Fultz is a number 1 pick. All right. I figured, Philly would be the best place to go as far as if you want to play with a younger squad that's got talent. But, of course, going to L.A., all the movie deals and whatnot, money to be made. All right. But like I said, it just seems like it's already a foregone conclusion that the guy's going to L.A. People will put, L.A. or Cleveland's still in the mix. Don't sleep on Houston. Philly still has an opportunity. But, everything that I've seen, it all points back to the Lakers being the team that he goes to. Okay? Supposedly, the Space Jam trailer is supposed to drop when he makes his decision. Movies, Space Jam, L.A., it's all written there for you. Okay? Like I've said before, Gary Payton said that his son was committed to play high school ball in L.A. He's got a home in L.A. What more could you ask for there as far as signs as to where he's going to go? He could pull a fast one and end up somewhere else. I think it's a bit difficult to make it work for him in Houston, given the fact that they got to move some contracts. I mean, I did see that the Kings are willing to take on bad deals, so maybe you could ship Ryan Anderson over there. All right, send over Ryan Anderson in a first-round pick for the Kings to deal with that. All right. I think they put a billboard for LeBron in Sacramento, too. The Kings are trying to get him over here. Wouldn't that be something if LeBron came to the Kings? How good would the Kings be if LeBron came there? You'd have Fox. Nah. I don't know. That's tough because, I mean, there's no way LeBron would play with that young team. You'd need someone else to come play with him. They'd have to trade for someone, which they could do. All right. But nonetheless, like I said, LeBron's going to end up with the Lakers. Now it's just a matter of where's Paul George and Kawhi Leonard going. Danny Ainge is talking as if they're probably not going to make a blockbuster deal. He came out today and talked about it. I mean, does it really make sense for the Celtics to go out and trade for Kawhi Leonard? It does only if it consists of Terry Rozier or Marcus Smart. Okay? If you're out here, because I saw the Spurs are asking for Jason Tatum. If I'm the Celtics, I'm not doing that. And I'm most likely not trading away Kyrie Irving. All right, because people making something out of Kyrie Irving saying that he wouldn't re-sign with them this season. I mean, of course, he's going to re-sign with the Celtics next season. I'm almost positive of that. Okay? I think Boston could offer him the Supermax. Okay? But nonetheless, yeah, I'm not giving away my future if I'm Boston for Kawhi Leonard if he's not going to be there long term. All right? So, I mean, realistically, I think that the teams with the top two chances to get Kawhi is either the Lakers or the Sixers. Okay? I saw the Spurs, they like Covington and Saric. I think that's a bit much for the Sixers to give up in order to get Kawhi. Of course, unless, like I said, he opts to stay there long term. And if you're the Lakers, I mean, do you want to trade for a guy who most likely will end up with your team in 2019? I mean, it's something you got to think about there. But it's all going to be very interesting. Like I said, we got the first domino falling with LeBron opting out. Well, Paul George opted out too, but no one really cares about what Paul George is doing until after we figure out what LeBron is doing. All right. Carmelo Anthony sitting pretty right now with his $26 million after opting in with the Thunder. I mean, the Thunder got to buy him out, right? There's no way you keep him on that team. A lot of questions to be answered this NBA free agency period, so we'll see what ends up going down, but we're almost there. So we're going to wrap it up here. Next up, we're going to be getting into some World Cup talk, so stay tuned, and I'll be right back.
Are you looking for the very best NFL and college football podcast? Then check out the GSMC Football Podcast. Get the latest football news both on and off the field. From the NFL Draft to trades to the rumor mill to the NFL Combines, they got you covered. That's GSMCpodcast.com/football-podcast. Get updates on college rivalries, game day insights, and much, much more. It's football talk the way you want it. This show eats, sleeps, and breathes football. Don't forget to like them on Facebook and follow them on Twitter. Visit GSMCpodcast.com for more info.
All right, and welcome back to the GSMC Sports Podcast. Spent the first segment talking about LeBron opting out and all of that. Cleveland not looking too good for them. Lakers are probably going to end up with him. I mean, it's just a matter of when, I guess. And it seems that the Celtics probably aren't going to be ended up with Kawhi Leonard. I think he's probably going to end up with Philly or the Lakers. So we'll see about it there. Saw an old Adrian Wojnarowski tweet. DeAndre Jordan almost signed with the Warriors once, back in 2011. Signed a 4-year, $43 million offer sheet with them, but of course, Clippers were able to match that. Imagine DeAndre Jordan if he was with the Warriors. 2011, was that the year Steph got drafted? Or he got drafted like 2009? I forget. Steph's been in the league for a while. All right. Let's see, who got drafted in 2011? It might have been Draymond. I don't know. I feel like these Warriors players just got good out of the nowhere too. Like obviously with Steph, you pretty much knew what kind of player he could be because of the run he had at Davidson, but nonetheless, let me see if I could find the 2011 NBA draft. Got it right here. So let's see. First pick was Kyrie. Enes Kanter went to Utah. Tristan Thompson to Cleveland. Valanciunas to Toronto. Brandon Knight, Detroit. Kemba to Charlotte. Milwaukee took Jimmer, but Sacramento ended up with him. Sac took Bismack Biyombo. All right. So 2011, Golden State took Clay. Let's see. Who was taken after Clay? Kawhi, the Morris twins, Shumpert, Harris. This wasn't really the greatest draft looking at it. All right. Let me see. When did Draymond get picked up? Let's see. 2010. Who did the Warriors take 2010? Took Epke Udo. That's not the greatest pick there. Let's see. 2012. Is that when Draymond came into the league? 2012? I think it might have been. I don't think I got Harrison Barnes that year. Oh, 2011. I forget that Draymond was a second-round pick, so it might have just been 2011 along with Clay. Actually, he was 2012 also, so they got... Actually, the Warriors did good in that draft 2012. They took Barnes... Let's see, yeah, they took Harrison Barnes. They took Festus Ezeli, who contributed big time to that team. And then they take Draymond Green. So, I mean, I say he went 3 for 3 on those picks, but nonetheless, all right, enough about basketball. Let's talk more World Cup. All right. So we got Portugal, Uruguay, Argentina, France, Brazil, Mexico, Belgium, Japan, Spain, Russia, Croatia, Denmark, Sweden, Switzerland, and then England, Colombia. Those are your round of 16 matchups. Yesterday I made my picks for the games going forward. I think I had Uruguay making it out of that tough left side of the bracket, and then Croatia out of that tough right side. I think I had Croatia, England in the semis too. I think it was Belgium, Uruguay in the semis over on the left side. I had Uruguay winning it all, I believe. All right, is it Uruguay or I think it was Uruguay that I had picked winning it all. All right. I mean, it's a possibility. Uruguay looked really good against Russia. That was more of a statement type game from Uruguay, just considering the fact that there's a lot of hype around Russia. All right, Russia played well against Saudi Arabia, Egypt. Uruguay not so much, and Uruguay came out and pretty much just dominated the entire match. Russia had no answer whatsoever for Uruguay. But nonetheless, I mean, Uruguay's a team who could go out and win it. But what are the teams right now that are looking good, but they might be frauds? Okay. I think England is a team that could fit that description. England look good so far. They're on the right side of the bracket. All right. Not real tough. But they got to play Colombia. Okay. So far, England's toughest match in the World Cup has been against Belgium. They did not play their best starting 11, and they beat Panama and Tunisia. They struggled against Tunisia, and they beat a weak Panama side. All right, but nonetheless, people are starting to talk up England. There's been a real buzz around them. Can they make noise? I'm not so sure. Okay, you lost the game against Belgium, so you get the benefit of playing the weaker side of the bracket. But, I mean, can't you see them losing to Colombia? Wouldn't that just be classic England there? All right, they got a proper amount of hype surrounding them. People, they're a team to watch for. All right, they do have a good opportunity to make it to the semifinals at least. But of course, Colombia is going to be at least the toughest team your best starting 11 has faced. All right, people are going to say Belgium, but their best starting 11 didn't face Belgium. That was the second team. So England is a team I think that could go out pretty early. All right, after having a very good group stage. I don't know. I think England might be the only team that I guess has a legit chance of making it to the final, but could go out in the round of 16. I think frauds was the wrong word too. All right, they just got a bad draw. Well, I mean, they got the draw. Obviously, they won it, I guess. Let's see. I could see Spain going out in the quarterfinal to Croatia. I think I have Croatia beating Spain in the quarterfinal. All right. Croatia right now for me is actually, yeah, let's do my top 5 teams so far now that we've hit the round of 16. So I'd say number 1, it's got to be Croatia. Okay, Croatia won 2 games in their group. Actually, they win all the games in their group. They beat Nigeria, they beat Argentina, they beat Iceland. So yeah, they won all 3 games in their group, I believe. All right, beat Argentina 3-0, beat Nigeria 2-0, and then beat Iceland 2-1. All right, they're by far the best team in the World Cup right now as far as how they've played. And like I said, I mean, I got them going to the final, so obviously I think very highly of them. But nonetheless, I got them at number 1. Then I'd say at number 2, it's a bit tough considering the fact that there hasn't been too many great teams. I'd say Belgium at number 2. Or actually, you know what? I'll go Uruguay at number 2, okay? Uruguay, yeah, they did struggle against Egypt and Saudi Arabia. Could have did better, but played extremely well against Russia. And, I mean, came away with 9 points. So I got Uruguay at number 2. Then I'll go Belgium at number 3. Belgium did well against Panama and Tunisia. Handled business there. Looked great. And then they beat England too. So, I mean, yeah, teams that finished with 9 points, I got them as my top 3 teams. So Croatia, Uruguay, Belgium. 4th team, actually, well, you know what? We'll rank the remaining round of 16 teams. All right, so 4th team, I got, I'll go with, this is a bit of a tough one here. I kind of want to go Brazil. I kind of want to go England. I kind of want to go Spain. You know what? I'll go Brazil at number 4. Okay. Didn't really dominate the way you'd expect them to against Switzerland or Costa Rica. They drew with Switzerland, beat Costa Rica at the very end of their match. All right, they did beat Serbia 2-0 and looked in control in that game. So, yeah, I got them at number 4. Then I'll put England at number 5. All right, they came away with 6 points in their group. But nonetheless, I mean, have looked good. Granted, they did play well against Panama and Tunisia, so you can't put too much stock into it like we talked about earlier. So I got England at number 5. Those are my top 5 teams. Then I'll go Spain at number 6. All right. They drew with Portugal, beat Iran, drew with Morocco. They haven't necessarily been the best team. Actually, you know, I'll do Portugal at 6, Spain at 7. All right. Then we'll go Sweden at 8. Sweden played really well in that group. All right. Nearly took points against Germany. Beat Mexico 3-0. Pretty much dominated Mexico 3-0. And then beat South Korea. So I got them at 8. At number 9. Number 9, I'll go Mexico at number 9. All right, people are wondering, where's France? Where's Argentina? None of those teams played well. All right, so I'll go Mexico at number 9. Then at number 10, I will go France. Okay. 11, I'll go finally Argentina. 12, we'll go... Actually, I forgot about Colombia and Japan, too. We already messed up these rankings. It's tough, but nonetheless, I mean, gist of it, those are my top 10 teams. All right, Colombia probably should be in there. I don't know. I'd probably put Colombia in before France. Okay. So before France, have Colombia. But nonetheless, I mean, France is a team that... France and Argentina both play each other on Saturday. I mean, one team's going to come away with a disappointing result. The other, you probably got to think, shouldn't even make it that far. All right. France has not played well. Argentina's played terrible. I mean, Spain hasn't necessarily convinced me really too much. Neither has Portugal. I mean, that's why I got Uruguay and Croatia in the final. All right, none of these top teams have necessarily looked great. Even Brazil. I think Brazil probably going to lose to Mexico in the round of 16. Okay. So it's going to be a year where, I mean, your Argentinas, your Frances, your Brazils are all out pretty early. All right. I'm not sure if that's good for FIFA or bad, but nonetheless, that's how it's probably going to go down. So we'll see. I mean, the group stage was amazing. No real bad games except for France and Denmark. Thanks to them for that. All right. Probably one of the most exciting group stages ever. Probably one of the most exciting World Cups already ever. Like I said, I mean, Argentina-France should be a decent game. Portugal-Uruguay, I mean, what a better opening day for that. Other than, like, I mean, what games could you have on that day to open out the round of 16? I mean, it doesn't get any better than it. So, we'll see how it all goes down. Like I said, I got Uruguay beating Portugal, and then I think I have Argentina beating France. I can't remember exactly. I have to listen back to yesterday's show, but nonetheless, it's going to be exciting. So, we'll see what all goes down. But we're going to wrap it up here. Next up, we're going to be talking about a few different NFL topics that come to mind. So stay tuned, and I will be right back.
Check out the show that's built on the MMA. From the UFC to extreme cage fighting, they got the fights covered. Check out the GSMC MMA podcast. Get the latest news on past or upcoming fights. Join us as we talk to and about some of the biggest names in the MMA, past, present, and future. When it's the fight game, there's just one show to check out. GSMCpodcast.com/MMA-podcast. Don't forget to like them on Facebook and follow them on Twitter. Visit GSMCpodcast.com for more info.
All right, and welcome back to the GSMC Sports Podcast. So far today, we've talked about LeBron. We've talked about also the World Cup. All right, we got games going on tomorrow. Today was the first day since the World Cup started that we didn't have games. I'm not really sure I didn't know what to do with myself this morning. I woke up at 6 o'clock. Usually it gives me an hour to get ready for the game at 7. You wake up at 6, there's no game at 7. I mean, what was I supposed to do? I ended up going back to sleep, but nonetheless, I mean, really wish there were some games on today. All right. I need my sports. Especially, it's always nice considering the fact that you got pretty much the World Cup games going on in the morning. So first thing you do when you wake up, just flip open your computer or turn on the TV. I'm not sure if you're a streaming guy or a girl, or you like to watch it on the good old television still. But nonetheless, always nice to be waking up to that. Kind of like how it is in the Premier League where you wake up, boom, games are already on. All right, then you got baseball going on later in the day. But nonetheless, I mean, we'll make do with it. I guess it's a nice little compromise considering the fact that tomorrow we get a couple of good games. Like I said, Uruguay, Portugal, Argentina, France. I'm real curious on that Argentina and France game too. I mean, what's going to give here? I mean, neither team really played well. France at least did their job and won the group. All right. Argentina pretty much limped into the round of 16. They're not looking good. They're vulnerable. All right. And I don't know. We expect Messi to save this team. Better yet, who's coming up with the lineup on Saturday? Is it Sampoli or is it the players? All right. Who knows? I wonder if they got Maradona at that game too. He didn't seem too good in their last match against Nigeria. But nonetheless, we'll see what ends up happening there. Jordan Schultz, all right, is an NBA reporter. He tweeted out that a source close to LeBron told him that Kawhi Leonard reached out to LeBron and pretty much expressed that he wants to play with him. I mean, LA, right? Or you think he's like, oh yeah, I'll join you in Cleveland. Like, what do we think happened here? All right. But nonetheless, I mean, I don't know. All these journalists and stuff are getting a lot of good scoops here. All right, Stephen A. Smith with the whole LeBron called KD type of thing. And Jordan Schultz is a Yahoo Sports insider / analyst, just to get that right. All right, but nonetheless, I mean, yeah, said that Kawhi Leonard reached out to LeBron, telling him he wanted to play together. And pretty much talked about why it'd be good for them to be together. And, I mean, LeBron and Kawhi on the same team sounds pretty deadly. All right, I'm not sure that that's going to defeat Steph, KD, Clay, and Draymond, but you could try. All right. But nonetheless, I mean, that's what's going on there. As far as the NFL, I mean, no real topic going on right now. All right. The NFL is kind of at the point where you don't want any bad stories coming out, and you want it to be smooth sailing till training camp. Obviously, that necessarily didn't work out because we got Jameis Winston get suspended for 3 games. And I saw, too, that if he violates the personal conduct policy, I think that's the policy that he's getting suspended under. All right, if he gets in trouble with that again, yes, with personal conduct policy, if he gets in trouble again, he could be out for a whole year. All right. So like I said, I mean, going back to yesterday when we were talking about whether or not the Buccaneers should cut Jameis, I mean, that kind of all plays into it right there. All right, Jameis's next offense could result in a year-long suspension. Okay. Jameis Winston hasn't really shown you so far that he's a mature enough player to where you don't have to worry about him. All right. So let's say that you're Tampa Bay. You don't cut Jameis. I mean, one more slip up and you're without your quarterback for a year. All right. Chances are, too, you'll probably be paying him a lot of money given the fact that this is the fourth year of his career. So he's at the end of his rookie contract. All right. So they got to decide what they want to do there. But nonetheless, I mean, who knows? Then we got XFL stuff. Okay. Obviously, we got the Alliance of American Football starting up next February, I think it is. But nonetheless, the XFL is still making its comeback. All right. And it seems that Vince McMahon is going to be pouring a pretty penny into this XFL league. All right. I think it said for the first 3 seasons or first 2. Let me see if I can pull up the article real quick just to be a bit more precise. But it seems that, like I said, it was first 2 or first 3 years. He's going to spend $500 million on the XFL. All right. Let me see. It's going to be spending $500 million. It's going to be to pay the players, coaches, and all. The average salary for the 40-man roster is going to be $75,000. Obviously, if you're a good player, you're going to be making more. Okay. Let's see. The first time the XFL was around, they were playing players 45, so I guess this is a bit better. Let's see. And then you're going to have insurance for players who get injured. I mean, that sounds pretty nice, doesn't it? All right, let's see. Anything else that I need to know about the XFL right here? I think that's pretty much it. So obviously Vince McMahon's going all in with this league. All right, he's going to be pouring a lot of money in it. And like I said, you got the AAFL, American Alliance of American Football. So yeah, the AAFL. All right, coming up next year. I mean, do we expect what's success? Like, what accounts for success among these leagues? Okay, because obviously they're not going to become as big as the NFL, and if they were, that would take years on top of like decades. Okay. I mean, how long do we expect these leagues to be around? All right. Last time the XFL was around, it only lasted a season. All right. The American or the Alliance of American Football, or is it the American Alliance of Football? I think it's the Alliance of American Football. I think. All right. Like, how long is that supposed to last? I mean, they got some former NFL players pretty much trying to run it, so I guess they're going to give their input on it. But nonetheless, I mean, like, this is 5 years. Like, are they going to last 5 years? All right. The AFL just folded, the Arena Football League. I mean, I don't know. I don't see these leagues lasting more than 5 years. Okay. I don't understand. Like, the AAFL could last a little bit, given it's going to be in the springtime when the NFL's done. I believe the XFL is going to be in the fall time again. And that's going to be a bit difficult. Okay, I'm almost positive they won't be playing on Sundays because that'd be one of the most idiotic decisions of all time to put your football game the same day as an NFL game. I don't think they'll be playing on Saturdays because I don't even think the XFL can compete with college football. So it'll probably be like a Friday night type thing or a Thursday night. And does the XFL even have TV rights yet? I don't think the XFL has TV rights yet. All right, at least the AAFL is supposed to be on CBS. All right, I'm not sure if that's the CBS Sports Network or CBS, the national thing, but nonetheless, I mean, if these leagues want to work, then you're going to have to get some big-name players out there. I'm not talking about guys who are in their primes in the NFL right now or anything like that, but just guys with a name. All right, maybe you see what Jamal Charles is doing, Johnny Manziel. All right, maybe you throw Tim Tebow out there. I mean, you got to find some names like that, okay? just to bring up some interest. Because I think Tim Tebow playing quarterback is going to draw some eyeballs. Same with Johnny Manziel. Okay, maybe you see what Trent Richardson's doing, Chris Johnson. Get guys like that out there. Maybe you could give a big money deal to Adrian Peterson. He goes to play out there. That'd be a nice little thing. All right. I mean, that's it too. Money. If you want to make this league last, then you got to pour absurd amounts of money into it, I feel. Okay. And this was supposed to be an NFL segment, but I don't know. I feel the XFL is more interesting at this point in time, now that they're giving me a topic to talk about. All right. But nonetheless, yeah, go for the guys who are in the last few years of their career. All right, see if they want to come play. I mean, let's see. Maybe you see what Brett Favre's doing, huh? Tell Brett you want to give it one more shot. Maybe he comes out. I mean, you could get some backup quarterbacks out there. I mean, Zach Mettenberger is a guy who, I think he was with the Spring League. All right, when those games were on Bleacher Report Live or whatever it's called. Maybe you could get him out there. I think Vince Young's completely retired, so he's out. Like I said, I mean, guys like Chris Johnson, I'm sure, would be open to playing. Let's see. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Exactly how big it gets. I mean, do you think these leagues are even going to get bigger than the CFL, Canadian Football League? I mean, the Canadian Football League got some of its games shown on ESPN. All right. And I feel like the Canadian Football League's doing fine right now. I'm not even sure that the XFL or AAFL, they got to change that. AAFL is just really, does not roll off the tongue like the XFL or the NFL. All right. But I'm not even sure these leagues get better than the CFL. It'll be interesting. It's going to be something new. I mean, I'm going to be watching it definitely. But it's just a point where the product might be really bad. Like with the NBA and college basketball, you could tell, like paying attention to the NBA, like how bad the product of college basketball is. Just that it's more entertaining, I guess. I mean, it's going to be like that for the NFL and XFL. You're going to watch the NFL and be like, wow, this XFL is terrible. And I'm not even sure they can give you the same entertainment value that college sports give you. All right? That's at least a plus side of it. So we'll see. But nonetheless, Vince McMahon going to be pouring a lot of money into the XFL. It's going to be real interesting to see if it ends up succeeding. Like I said, I don't see these leagues lasting more than 5 years. All right? So who knows? But nonetheless, we're going to wrap it up here. Next up, we're going to be talking about anything else going on in the world of sports, so stay tuned, and I will be right back.
Are you looking for help for your fantasy football team? Check out the GSMC Fantasy Football Podcast. Get today's best advice on who to start, who to sit, even who you should draft. From sleeper picks to red-hot lineups, they got it all covered for you. That's gsmcpodcast.com/fantasy-football-podcast. We'll cover traditional leagues, dynasty, PPR, even IDP leagues. When you need fantasy help, there's just one show to hit up. Don't forget to like them on Facebook and follow them on Twitter. Visit gsmcpodcast.com for more info.
All right, and welcome back to the GSMC Sports Podcast. So far today, we've talked World Cup, we've talked XFL, and we've talked LeBron James. All right, we might touch on LeBron James a little bit more in this segment, but nonetheless, if we have any extra thoughts. But nonetheless, Tiger Woods, all right, finished the first round yesterday. I think it was finished even yesterday. Now he's at 5 under for the day. Actually, he shot 65 today. He's done for the day. All right, right now he's 11th. They're at the Quicken Loans National. I think that's Tiger's tournament, too. Is it Tiger's tournament? I can't remember exactly. I think I saw that somewhere. But unless he's at 5 under for the day, he's finished. All right, 4 strokes off of the lead. Behind Bo Hostler, tied first, all right, at 9 under. He is finished for today, too. You got Brian Gay also tied at 9 under. Too many big names in this tournament, so Tiger Woods might be able to pick up a win here. You got Ricky Fowler. Let's see, anyone else? I'd say no. So maybe Tiger gets one here, and let's say Tiger does win the Quicken Loans National. Like, do we care? Does that matter to us? Or is it like, oh, well, you could have won the U.S. Open, could have won the Masters. Like, what are we setting the bar at for Tiger? Do we get excited for just PGA Tour wins, or do we get excited for major wins, and PGA Tour wins are kind of like, who cares? All right, I'm not sure. I'm still trying to figure out this whole Tiger thing. Like I said, the dude's, 40-something years old? Surgery after surgery? I feel like it's a bit unfair to expect him to win these majors and all. All right? I feel maybe you just got to appreciate the fact that the guy's still out there. Okay? But nonetheless, I mean, yeah, like I said, I've been trying to figure out, like, what do we get excited for with Tiger here? Is it when he shoots well for 2 rounds? All right? Is he when he makes the cut? I mean, we need a basis, you guys. We need a basis. All right? But nonetheless, like I said, he's at 500 right now for the day. He's done for the day, actually. And, I mean, he's got both rounds to go tomorrow. Like I said, 4 strokes off the lead. So we'll see how good old Tiger Boy does here. All right, how Eldrick Woods does. I forgot. I got to call him Eldrick, all right? Said I wouldn't call him Tiger till he won a tournament. So he's Eldrick Woods till he wins a tournament. Maybe the Quicken Loans National could be the one he gets it. So we'll see there. But nonetheless, let's see. How did yesterday's MLB games go? All right, we got the Red Sox-Yankees series starting up today. That's going to be a bit of a fun one. And, I mean, the AL is absolutely disgusting. All right, you got 4 teams on pace to win more than 100 games. Talking about the Mariners, the Astros, the Red Sox, and the Yankees. I mean, why don't we just do a little 4-team playoff? Okay? We could have the Mariners play the Red Sox, or we'll have the Red Sox against the Astros, the Mariners against the Yankees. Or actually, no, the Red Sox are first in the AL East. So it'd be the Mariners versus the Red Sox, Yankees versus the Astros. All right? Like I said, a little 4-team playoff. 2 teams in the AL wild card playing the 2 best teams in the AL. All right? Whoever wins those little semifinal matchups plays each other in the World Series. Forget the NL. Doesn't even matter. All right? We'll just have an all-AL World Series. Like I said, we'll probably have Red Sox versus Astros. We could have Red Sox versus Yankees. Or we could have Astros versus Mariners. I mean, possibilities are endless here. Okay? Because like I said, these teams are way too dominant right now. All right? I mean, let's see. Is there anyone really that comes close to either of those 4 teams in the AL? Indians got 44 wins. The Astros got 55. Mariners got 51. Red Sox got 55. Yankees got 52. So, I mean, the Indians don't come close. As for the National League, you don't got a team over 50 wins there, I don't think. All right? So, I mean, like I said, what's the point of even playing out the rest of the season? 4-team playoff. All right? The 2 AL wildcard teams versus the leaders of the AL East and AL West. All right? Then you have the winners of those games play each other in the World Series. Like I said, there's not even a team with 50 wins in the NL. All right? You're going to tell me that the Braves are going to beat the Red Sox, Yankees, or Astros, or the Mariners? I mean, I don't think so. World Series coming out the AL this season. All right? At least that's what it's looking like. And these teams have been real dominant. I mean, Red Sox and JD Martinez. Red Sox got a bargain there. All right? JD Martinez was looking for $200 million, or at least Scott Boras was. And with the way he's played this season, JD should have got $200 million. I think he's got like an opt-out clause, though, after his second year. So Red Sox probably going to have to work on extending him already. Or at least making his deal guaranteed or whatnot. So looking at the scores yesterday, though. Diamondbacks beat the Marlins 4-0. A's beat the Tigers 4-2. Twins beat the White Sox 2-1. Mariners beat the Orioles in extra innings, 10 innings, 4-2. Cubs beat the Dodgers 11-5. Rockies beat the Giants 9-8. Red Sox beat the Angels 4-2. Phillies beat the Nationals 4-3. Nationals real disappointing this season. Brewers beat the Reds 6-4. And then the Astros beat the Tampa Bay Rays 1-0. Let's see, what do we got going on for today's matchups? We got Twins, Cubs. I'll pass on that one. Angels, Orioles. Orioles are pretty terrible, so I'll pass. Red Sox, Yankees, that's going to be a good one. Eduardo Rodriguez versus CC Sabathia right now. Rodriguez 9-2. All right, Sabathia 4-3. Nationals, Phillies. And one thing about the Yankees-Red Sox game today, too, is Sabathia always seems to pitch well against the Red Sox, so it should be a decent game. Like I said, we got Nationals, Phillies. All right, Tigers, Blue Jays, Brewers, Reds, Mets, Marlins, Astros, Tampa Bay still, White Sox, Rangers, Braves, Cardinals, Giants, Diamondbacks. That should be a good series. Indians, A's. That should be a decent one too. And it's crazy. I mean, the A's would be what? I think a game and a half back of the Indians if they played in the what is it, Central? I mean, AL Central's terrible. All right. You get the Royals, Mariners, Rockies, Dodgers, Pirates, Padres. All right. So we got a lot of good games going on today. Let's see, anything else going on in any other leagues? I don't believe so. All right. So now we look forward to the weekend. Like I said, I got a lot of soccer going on. I mean, imagine if we had the NBA still. Well, no. I mean, what do non-NBA fans do for like the off season? I mean, obviously you still got time to follow, but there's no games or anything like that. Like, I don't understand how you could be a fan of only one sport. All right? Like, that sounds terrible. Like, you watching the NBA, you get it from October to June. You got July, August, September, I guess. So a little bit of a... It's only a 3-month break. NFL, that's what? September to February. So then you got March, April, May, June, July, and pretty much August. So September is really when it all starts up. I don't know. You count preseason as like the beginning of the NFL season. Obviously not the regular season, but like that's when football starts. I don't think we can count it, considering the fact that it's not like legit. It's not best of the best going against each other. So I'd say, yeah, I'd count August in there as far as the off season. I don't know. So that's quite a while. The MLB, you go from April to October. All right, so you got the winter pretty much. Winter's for the holidays too. Let's see. Soccer, that's year-round, so you don't really have a problem there. I mean, it's except for a couple months in the summer, but even then, so you got international play. So at least you get to root for your home country. Of course, unless you're the U.S. Yeah, I don't understand how people could do it. But nonetheless, we're hitting that kind of dog days of summer part of sports right now. We got the World Cup. Obviously, that's what kind of saved us too, the World Cup. If you didn't have the World Cup right now, it'd be the MLB. All right, that'd be dominating this show. But nonetheless, I mean, at least the NBA offseason, you got all those rumors going on. NFL offseason gets real dry at this point in time, all right? Once we're done with free agency, it's pretty much just like, actually done with the draft, it's pretty much just like, okay, what now? All right, and like I said, this is the point in time where the NFL is really hoping no one gets arrested or suspended. All right? Because this is the only stories to put out. I mean, you can only talk about how Lamar Jackson is going to be taking Joe Flacco's job so many times after this season. Okay? I mean, eventually Sam Darnold, like the draft talk. All right? Who's going to go number one? That was the point of emphasis for a month. Now, what do we talk about? Minicamp? You hope no one gets injured. You hope no one gets arrested or anything like that. Okay? This is where the bad stories come out for the NFL. All right? But nonetheless, I mean, yeah, it's off-season time. All right? And what do I expect out of tomorrow's games for the World Cup? I mean, Argentina and France, I'm not really sure what to expect there. France seemingly acts like they're Iceland when you got probably one of the best starting 11s out there. And Argentina, I mean, they try to open up. It's just they look terrible doing it, all right? And if I'm France, I guess you do kind of think about maybe playing a bit back and counterattacking. Argentina can't play when the opposing team does not open up, all right? They don't know what to do, okay? So, I mean, tomorrow, as far as the starting 11s, let's see. Let's make a little prediction for me. I'm expecting it for France. Let's see. Who would I go with for France? Okay. I'd go probably a 4. I don't know. Do you start Giroud? All right. I think you go kind of like a 4-3-3 type of thing where you go... I'll go Lucas Hernandez and Titi Varane. And either Sidibe or Pavard on the right side. Conte, Pogba, obviously in the midfield. All right, then I think you go with Matuidi. And then you got to go Mbappe, Griezmann, and Giroud. I think that's what France is going to go with. Argentina, I have no clue, to be honest. Okay? If it was up to me, you're throwing Dybala out there. They're probably going to go Higuaín, Messi, Di Maria, Banega, Mascherano. I mean, like I said, I'd go Dybala on the right side. Obviously, they're probably not going to. So you're probably see probably the same lineup as their last group stage match against Nigeria. All right, so it'll be real interesting to see how it all goes down. But nonetheless, I mean, who knows? And then for Portugal and Uruguay, Ronaldo's been great, but I think Godin and Jimenez are going to do well to limit him a bit. And I mean, we haven't really seen anything else from Portugal's team other than Ronaldo, so I think Uruguay's going to pull it out there. So we'll see what ends up going down. But of course, like I said, Sunday's games, we got... What do we got on Sunday? Oh yeah, it's Russia, Spain, Croatia, Denmark, I believe. All right. Obviously, I got Spain winning, Croatia winning. So we'll see what ends up going down there. But nonetheless, we're going to wrap it up here. Thanks for listening to the GSMC Sports Podcast. As always, I am your host, Jesse Tapia. I will be back on Monday, so stay tuned, and I will talk to you guys later.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Sports Podcast, part of the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Just type in GSMC to find all the shows from the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. From movies to music, from sports to entertainment, and even weird news. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's program.